I really hope that our volunteers get a lot of personal satisfaction out of what they do at the hospice. I think all of our volunteers, I like to think, know that their contribution to what we do here has a direct impact on the families, from helping our fundraisers to do events, tombolas, raffles, the things that are the lifeblood of the hospice, to helping on reception. Because when people take the time to come to the hospice, the very least they can see is a smiley face and somebody who cares about them, which is beautiful. Right the way through to, we very recently have had a gentleman join us to help drive our minibus. I really hope they have a sense of ownership over the hospice, because Zoe's Place has always been, and it'll continue to be, part of the community. Without community support, it wouldn't be here.
So within Night Stop, across the North East, we've received 200 referrals through 2018 for people to use the service, and throughout that time we've managed to offer 675 bed nights, so 675 safe opportunities for people to stay in people's houses, which we wouldn't be able to offer if we didn't have any hosts, if we didn't have them volunteers.
So Frayed is very fortunate. We get lots of people wanting to come from the community to volunteer for Frayed, and their needs are different. And what we try to do is mould a role based on their strengths. In terms of how many volunteers we've had, last year we got over 66,000 hours, and if you put a value on that, that's £130,000. We just couldn't afford that because we want to sell our furniture for as little as possible to help people in the community. So the volunteering, we win and the volunteers win. The men's sheds had 38 shedders in total, and we've recently done a questionnaire, and I was quite astounded to find out how they feel personally, because men don't tend to share how they feel, but over 70% felt socially isolated. And looking at what they had learned from it, they felt that they had grown in confidence, their resilience had grown, they were developing friendships, and their self-esteem also was getting better. So I think the individual benefits for volunteers is absolutely massive.
A lot of volunteers come because they want to give back to the organisation and to their community. So for example, someone who's done a course might want to help other people do that course because they've gained the skills, and they feel they're giving back to the organisation and helping people out.
For our volunteers that want to get experience, we see constant successes with volunteers applying for university, to often train to be a healthcare professional, so they're able to go into that interview very confident about what the role is that they're applying to do. It's not a case of them sitting there and saying, I think this is what it is. They actually know, because they're seeing that in real life every day, and I think that's the important thing to remember, that as a volunteer in a hospital, it is real life experience. You know, they do get it warts and all. They see everything that happens, all the good, all the bad, all the emotional, all the upsetting things that we see as staff. The volunteers also see that, so they get a real sense of what the reality is of working in a hospital.